Hey guys, this is Lisa from NYC Gal Out. I hope you guys can hear me. I have the dishwasher running, so if you hear that like background noise, it's my dishwasher. Anyway, let's talk about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. They are in Greece. So Angie K, of course, the residential Greek of Salt Lake City, she's hosting the trip. The first few seasons with Jen Shaw in it didn't really go anywhere nice, I felt like. Speaking of which, though, she was released today. Did you guys know that? So she was sentenced 6 years. She took a plea deal. I said the best thing that she could have done for herself in a situation like this, where it's not a violent crime, it is a white collar crime, was take the plea deal. So she got out today. Of course, Andy Cohen has made it very clear that he does not see her being welcomed back into the Bravo network. But you know what? She is quite a character. I could see her doing a documentary or selling her story to Hulu, or she could write a book. She could do a podcast. Everybody has a podcast nowadays. Hell, she could even make a YouTube channel. Nowadays, if you have enough following on social media platforms, you're basically a reality star. But the ladies are in Greece, and watching this episode, anyone who says that this is not the Lisa Barlow show is like, yeah, because you just hate to admit it. They talk about her nonstop. They make her the central part of their storyline. I don't know whether it's because Heather doesn't have shit going on, whether, Whitney realizes that nobody's interested in her healing bullshit for another season, or what it is. You can't even spin it any way anymore. It is like now you two are just giving like weirdo energy, especially Whitney. I just kept thinking about the way she was acting at BravoCon. Here's some tea. Andy Cohen was not happy with her because she was acting a fool up on stage, and a lot of cameras caught it. There were producers from NBC as well as Bravo the network. There is casting rumors about season 7. People are saying it's a choice between Meredith and Whitney. I think Whitney is the one that is on the chopping block. That girl was seated, like basically falling off the couch. Andy Cohen wanted her as far away from him as possible. So, yeah, we'll see. This was just such a weird episode, and it was just like confirming to me even more that like, Whitney, you're just a weirdo. You're like such a pick me girl. She started legit crying because of what happened on the airplane with Meredith and Brittany, that she starts crying. Those tears that she had and that crying, I have seen that before. You know where I've seen that before? I have seen that when Blake was sitting next to me talking about his grandma. And if you guys are like, who the fuck is Blake? Well, this all happened when I was 24 years old, and Blake was sitting next to me on the couch, drunk off his ass. I think he was drinking whiskey. That was what that was. Whitney was drunk. She was liking the wine a little bit too much. And anybody who has ever been around a drunk person, you know that when they get into their feels and, the alcohol is like coming over them, they start crying, they start getting emotional, they get very talkative, they start being a little crazy. I thought it was really hilarious that Whitney, in last episode, she accused Meredith of being a pill popper and an alcoholic, only for the shit that she did at BravoCon to be like, what, like 2 weeks previous to that episode dropping on our television screen. So it was like the worst timing that they could have done for you, Whitney. But then she starts crying, and I'm just like, yeah, this girl's drunk. Like, Meredith probably is a pill popper, but if Meredith is a pill popper, the only alcoholic on that show is you, Whitney. You are the alcoholic of that show. So she's crying her alcoholic tears, and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? It was such a stupid scene because it was so obvious to me. I don't know how other viewers see it. We all have opinions about, cast members, who we like, who we don't like. And we all can look at the same episode, look at the same scene, and, have different opinions. My take on that was like, yeah, bad weather. You guys had no storyline, and you're trying to get into everybody's business because you want to be involved. You want to latch on to have a problem with someone so that you can have a storyline. For Heather specifically, Heather wants to be the it girl. She wants another receipt, timeline, screenshot. She let that go to her head, and it's like now she's trying to get back at that status. She wants to be at that status. But now I just feel like you're producing. You're wanting to be an executive producer of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. That's what it's giving. She is holding on to some beef that she has with Meredith, which isn't even a beef with Meredith. They are trying to drag out whatever happened or didn't happen with Meredith and Brittany. Brittany and Meredith already moved past it, but they are not letting it go. Bad weather is not letting it go. This is all that they had. With Whitney and Justin, I thought that was a really good scene. The last scene where she was talking about her business basically flopping, though I felt like she was doing some weird shit where she was blaming it on Justin. The way she was trying to make it seem was like, this is your fault. And with Heather, like maybe like I would like to see her dating. I mean, even Sutton Strack over there in Beverly Hills, she had one season where like legit her season was centered around her horse and dating. Heather, I know you can't afford a horse, but maybe you could borrow Angie's horse. Or if you can't borrow her horse, maybe you could like have a storyline revolving around you like adopting a dog or a cat and going on dates wearing your like fussy cat sweater. Like, I'm just saying though, they are bringing up Lisa every single episode. They want to have conflict with Lisa, and when they can't have conflict with Lisa, they are dragging out an imaginary beef with Meredith that doesn't even include them. Brittany has moved on from it, but I will say, whether it's a Zanny or what, Meredith was not taking the bait. Heather was raising her voice, throwing out accusations, doing all this, you're gaslighting me bullshit. And Meredith was just like, well, I don't feel the same way. She was not taking the bait. And when somebody doesn't take the bait, that's the best thing you could do, because the one that came out looking all legit crazy was Bad Weather. They legit look like weirdos. Like, what are you two doing? There was this whole thing with a Cartier watch and all this other shit. And I'm just like, are you guys serious? It was too much. Like, these ladies cannot stop talking about Lisa Barlow. The fact that Heather's like, oh, I bought this $6,000 watch and I bought one for Whitney too, just to have something to, tell Lisa. Like, girl, you went and bought a watch just to get Lisa's reaction? Like, girl, you legit need to sit down with a therapist about this, because anyone who tries to spin it any other way is just, you're a Lisa Barlow hater for whatever reason. But look, I don't enjoy watching Whitney Rose on my television screen, and I'm sure there's a lot of people who don't enjoy watching Lisa Barlow on their television screen, and that's okay, because how this episode was, even if you are a Lisa Barlow hater, there's no way you could spin this to be anything but an obsession for her and her cousin. And now you guys could say, oh, well, Lisa always likes to brag and, blah, blah, blah. I don't care if anybody's bragging to me. I'm not going to go open up my wallet based on somebody's reaction. That's just some weird shit. But whatever, haters out there, they will spin this into some weird shit. Then Lisa and Angie get into who had a Cartier watch first. And it was just so crazy. And then it was like, who had a Porsche first? And it was like, legit, Angie, what the fuck is going on? And it wasn't even Lisa that brought any of this up. Y'all love saying that, like, Lisa's a mean girl and all this other shit. She might very well be a mean girl, but you guys are the ones that are always making her the center of attention. You guys are the ones that are always bringing her up. So then you can't be mad when she gets reactive. Even the whole shit with, like, Bronwyn. Angie, you brought up that messy shit. You said Lisa said it and she had her hair over her face when she was saying it, but Lisa wasn't the one that brought it up. You brought it up. You brought it up onto national television. That was a private conversation that she had with you off camera, but you're the one that brought it on camera. And, Rowan decided to put that energy to Lisa, even though she should have put that energy to Angie, who brought it up on camera. And that is really what this all comes down to. Meredith and Lisa, they know how to play it a little bit too well. And I will say that Meredith knows how to play it even better than Lisa, because with the whole Brittany thing, when they were still on Below Deck, she actually flips the script and turns it and says to Whitney, I'm actually mad at you. And she caught Whitney off guard, because Whitney's like, me? That Minnie Mouse voice that she does. She goes from her Mickey Mouse voice to her Minnie Mouse voice when she's being messy. You know who said that exact same thing? Gina in OC. She said that exact same thing to Katie with that whole Heather paparazzi bullshit. Gina did that exact same bullshit with Katie to Heather. But Meredith, she's a little bit smarter and quicker. And she's like, no, well, I'm actually mad at you, Whitney. And now here's the crazy shit, because in last week's episode, Whitney gets mad at Rowan for going to Meredith about what she was saying. But Rowan, she's a little bit too quick for Whitney too. I actually think Whitney's kind of like a dingbat, but okay. I know people think that Brittany's a dingbat, which, by the way, when Mary was like talking about people's face shape and she's like, well, like the square heads are dingbats, the camera zoomed in on Brittany Bateman. Like, why are you guys hating on Brittany? Come on now. Anyway, but I know people think Brittany's the dingbat, but like, no, like Brittany and Whitney, I mean, I don't know. They even got rhyming names, Brittany and Whitney. And you see, it's kind of ludicrous for Whitney to even be mad at Bronwyn because you just said it with the cameras in your face. Those are the scenes that I never get because it's not just like on Salt Lake City. We see it on other franchise too when they get mad at someone for bringing something to another person, but it's like legit, you said it on TV, which basically means you said it to the whole entire world. And look, just to show you that I'm being fair, Mary Cosby, when she confided to Angie about Robert Jr.'s drug addiction, she's like, don't tell the other girls, this is a secret. I'm trusting you with this secret. And I even said, when I did that recap, I was like, what secret? You said it to Angie and to the whole entire universe. Like, what secret? And I said, I never understand when people are like, don't tell anyone. And I'm like, there's a camera zooming in on your face. What do you mean, don't tell anyone? I've been saying this whole entire season. They were very surprised that Brittany came back. Maybe they weren't as surprised that Bronwyn came back, but they were very surprised that Brittany came back. Brittany, you need a better entertainment lawyer because whoever your lawyer is, they're not doing right by you. They should negotiate for you to have a snowflake. You're basically doing all the work. You're even at BravoCon and like, no, you need a snowflake. Get yourself a better lawyer. Whoever your entertainment lawyer is, find out who Lisa Barlow's lawyer is because Lisa Barlow renegotiated her contract. So find out whoever her lawyer is and try to get him to, represent you too. Anyway, so Angie brings up like, oh, did you see any Greek guys you like? Because like legit 2 episodes ago, Bronwyn was basically having a marriage crisis. But we've seen her pull this bait and switch before on her first season, last season when they were all on the little yacht. She confides to the ladies about Todd cheating on her. And according to her, her daughter, Gwen, finds it out because he was texting another woman. At the reunion, she flips it and says, oh, it was emotional cheating, not physical cheating. And then she somehow blames that all on Lisa Barlow, even though you, Bronwyn, was the one that brought it up to everybody, brought it up onto camera, and you talked about it. But she flips it and blames it on Lisa. We see her try to do that weird BS again this episode. And again, it's like, she's trying to do that bait and switch. She flips her wig and it's like, well, why would you say that? And all this other stuff. And the ring gets brought up, right? Like, oh, you don't wear your wedding ring. She's basically making it seem to the cameras not that long ago that she kicked Todd to the curb, told him that he needed to be somewhere else. And even in her confessional, she's like, I'm not going to try to sound cute. I basically told Todd that we needed to spend some time apart. Like, girl, what? This scene, she's like, I never said that. That's not what I said. Okay, well, maybe that wasn't what you said verbatim, but are you like trying to suggest that wasn't what you were implying? Because that's not what I got as a viewer. I got exactly what all the other ladies were getting. So Lisa, she doesn't say anything, but the camera pans to her face a lot. And I think it's because Lisa's feeling vindicated. Like, yeah, see, this is exactly the bullshit that I was trying to point out. And yeah, now I'm glad that you guys are dealing with it instead. I'm not even sure how the episode ended because it was legit like not even a filler episode. It was just an episode where I just felt like so heavily produced, so performative, so theatrical, and all centered around Lisa. By the way, guys, I made a short little video clip because I noticed that Bravo, when they dropped their promo for the reunion, that they really did not showcase Whitney. They actually showcased Brittany. Whitney did not even get like her own individual shot when they were doing the different dresses. What do you guys make of that? I put that video up on my social medias, but on YouTube, I did a short little video clip about it. So let me know. What do you guys think about the casting rumors and who do you think is getting demoted or just straight up getting the boot? I actually think it's Whitney. I think she's getting demoted next season. And if not, she's straight up getting the boot.